Okay, so once again, good afternoon. Who can recall our previous lesson before we start with our new lesson this afternoon? Anyone? What was our previous lesson?
Variables po, sir.
Yes, you are recognized. Isa to, si Mahestad. Come again, Mr. Mahestad.
Yes po, sir.
It's all about
Wait lang, sir.
Variable
tama,
lang, sir.
variables yung i-mention mo kanina, di ba?
Yes, sir. Nakalimot ko sa meaning.
It was all about variables. So if you cannot
Yes.
give the meaning, can you give an example na lang instead? What can you recall? Kaya naman tayo exercises last time, di ba, about variables. So what can you recall that's still part of statistics? Or anyone
Um,
who can help Mr. Mahestad kung nag-listen si Mr. Mahestad
No.
recall,
Uh,
can also help.
example ba to?
about
Example ba to unit of interest, sir, o variable?
Unit of interest is another concept. Kaya ang unit of interest, usually mo to siya ang ato ang
lang na.
subject when we are doing research. The variables are the characteristics of the unit of interest. So say for example, the unit of interest is katong previous example ta mag-base. Restaurant. So unsa ang mga pwede sa restaurant? April Boy.
Okay, sir.
Ay,
Pwede,
kanang
sir.
mga ano, sir, mga
Kuan
menu,
sir,
sir.
sa parehitong gapon sir example kay parehanang katong karong karon example yung
Hapon o
restaurant
the other
kanang
day.
parehanang kuan sir mga design, mga shape, mga numbers of
Design.
people.
Yeah, that's true. The number of
Oh,
or
tama
the
rin.
area of the restaurant, the number of
Yes sir.
tables, the number of employees. So katong mga pwede nato ma-mention that can differentiate restaurants kay daghan man ni kay sila. Kung unit of interest nimo is restaurant, then how can you differentiate the restaurants? What are those characteristics? Mo to siya ang ginatawag nga variables. That is a good answer. Thank you, Mr. Mahestad, for sharing our previous lesson. But aside from
Ano,
that, what else?
ano, sir, ang discrete variable o
Total?
ano,
Okay, go ahead.
quanti- ano, sir, quantitative variable o discrete variable? Or,
Quantitative variable is one of the kinds of variables. Aside from quantitative, we also have qualitative. Under the quantitative, discrete is just one. Sa patong kauban sa discrete? Duha man to
Continue.
sila. Very good, Noriela. It's
continuous, sir.
continuous.
Continuous o ano,
So
sir,
who can give me an
huh?
example of discrete muna?
Ano, sir?
Ayop is ayop.
Kuan
Is
sir, kanang numbers gani sir, nagsuod sa 0, 1, 2, 3. Kanang
okay.
countable siya sir.
Who can give me an example? Kato siya ang definition, Miss Ayop, no? So, do you have or can anyone give me an example of variable? Katong variable ha,
Numbers of children sir.
o kana, number of children.
Numbers of
That is a
children.
variable. Siguro kung imong unit of interest is family. So, dihan nimo ang mga pamilya sa inyong lugar. So, one of the variables can be number of children. Okay, different families have different number of children. Ang answer ato is discrete because number of children will always be a counting number. Another one, you can give me an example of discrete gihapon. Clark, causal,
Ano, sir? Number of
discrete.
books, mo po, sir?
Number of books, that's good because we can not give a number nga na decimal or fraction when we talk about number of books. That's correct. How about continuous? You can give me an example of a variable that is continuous.
Opo, sir.
Sir.
Monsanto.
Opo, sir.
Monsanto, nag-base ko sa mga nag-raise of hand ha. Monsanto and Liboon will give answers. Monsanto first. Continuous variable.
Continuous, sir.
Yes.
Kuan. Weight of a person who take the exam for the PME, sir.
Okay, so pwedeng ko weight of a person na lang pero gi-specify pa jud niya of examiners for
Okay, sir.
or examinees for the PMA examination. So that is correct. Weight is an example of continuous variable because your weight can also have decimal if you are talking about the accurate weight jud mismo. Liboon,
Kuan sir, height sir.
the height, kung na-weight na po yung height, the height of a
Sir.
person, the height of the students, the height of the teachers, the examinees, that is also continuous variable. So aside from the quantitative, continuous, discrete, isa pa ang naay madungag. Before we start with our new lesson, we are still on the review part. Maravilla, what have you learned from our previous meeting? Aside from katong na-mention a while ago nga, na mga discrete, na mga continuous, and then na mga variables, unit of interest. Na ba tayo na-miss?
Wala, sir.
Maravilla? How about katong kuan mga sampling methods, itong how to present the data? That was still part of our discussion. So sampling methods, there are different kinds. So divide siya into katong probability type, katong random, and then katong mga non-random or non-probability. So in research, we are encouraged or recommended to use the random katong probability type. Who can name the four? Pato sila kabuok? Under the random type of sampling.
Sir, ako sir.
Dupla, Mr. Dupla.
Ako sir.
Dupla ang una.
Simple random sampling sir.
Simple random sampling, that's one.
Systematic sampling.
Correct.
Stratified sampling.
Stratified sampling,
Cluster sampling sir.
cluster sampling. And you can still have a lot of other sampling pa, di ba? Pero kato siya ang ginagamit usually. So thank you so much. And we also ended with the discussion of how to present the data using text. Pwede din mo siya i-paragraph form. Pwede mo siya i-tabular form, i-table. Or you can also present it. Ang pinaka-recommended po is using graphical method. Mag-bar graph baka, mag-line graph, and so on and so forth. So we are still part of that particular discussion about statistics. That's why for this afternoon, we have the measures of central tendency as our lesson. And when we talk about the measures of central tendency, there are only three measurements involved. We have mean, median, and mode. And I believe this is very much familiar to you. Kaya murag junior high school pa na siya, di ba? As well as in senior high school. Tama ba? Nan sa
Yes
inyo,
sir.
Oh, so sayo na kayo ni para sa inyo ha. Kindly read the definition of the measures of central tendency. Let's have Alano. Naka-on
Hello,
mo
sir.
microphone ni Alano. Ikaw ang magbasa sa first part.
Measures of central tendency are numerical descriptive measures which indicate or locate the center of a distribution or data
Set.
data
So,
set.
pasabot ani niya. Nag-allocate daw siya sa pinaka-center of the distribution of a data set. Na define naman nato ang data a while ago, di ba? I mean, in the previous discussion. So, for example, katong data nga kuha nimo, height sa imong mga classmates. So, klase-klase o mga height imong classmates na ay mga tag-as kaayo, na ay mga average lang, na apoy mga mugbo pod. Pero if you are going to give one specific measurement of the height that will define all of your classmates, unsa to siya nga measurement? Muna ni siya ang gibutang sa measure of central tendency. Ang iyahang kuhaon nga measurement out of all those data is katong naa sa center. Locate the center of the distribution. That is the meaning of central tendency. So ang pinakauna jud nga measurement is actually ang pinakasayon nga mo po ni ginagamit nato all the time. That is the mean and also known as the average. You can continue reading the second part of our slide. Isa to nag-raise og hand na ako nakitaan. Villamero.
In layman's term, a measure of central tendency is an average. It is a single number of value which can be considered typical in a set of data as whole. For example, in a class of 40 students, The average height would be the typical height of the members of this class as a whole.
Thank you so much. So, klaro ba ang gihatag nga explanation about central tendency?
Yes, sir.
Let's proceed to the next slide. So we will have first the ungrouped data. When we say ungrouped data, mo siya ang pinaka-common na ato ang gina-deal nga mga numbers. Kanang wala siya nakagrupo gani, ipanghatag doon sa isa-isa, then kuwaon na to ang mean, median, and the mode. So the first measurement is the mean. And this is also synonymous to the average that we are referring to whenever we get the average of our scores. So usually mo siya ang iyahang meaning. Ang mean is the term in statistics. So what is mean? Kindly read. Naaba diri si Maravilla na lang ka si Maravilla nag-raise.
Among the three measures of central tendency, the mean, yun klaro, isa sira.
The mean, dili maklaro.
Among the three
Nakaslide.
measures of central tendency, the mean is the most popular and widely used. It is sometimes called arithmetic mean. If we compare the mean, the population, we call it.
If we compute to siya. If we compute
the mean of the population, we call it the parametric or popular mean.
population.
Denoted by, saan ipagbasa, sir?
Mu, nakabutan siya, mu. That is
Mu.
a Greek letter, mu.
If we
Continue.
get the mean of the sample, we call it the sample mean, and it is denoted by
X
X
bar.
bar.
Okay. So that is the meaning of the mean. Wala niya na-mention pag tunawan na nabasa nasa box. The mean of a set of values or measurements is the sum of all the measurements divided by the number of measurements in the set. So muna siya ang general definition of the mean, also known as average. When we have the properties of the mean, kailangan tumibalaan unsay characteristics aning mean kay we will have comparison later kung median na po ang atong istoryahan o mode na po ang atong istoryahan. So let's have the mean. Kaya mo man ang pinaka-common nga ginagamit nato. So unsa ang naa sa mean? Nganong mo ni siya ang pinaka-common nga ginagamit sa statistics? Kindly read number 1. Kasal.
Number 1. Mean can be calculated for any set of numerical data, so it always exists.
Very good. So every time na kay numerical data, so kung na kay quantitative data, you can always compute for the mean. It always exists. How about dili siya numerical data? We will learn that one sa number 5. Let's continue with number 2. Kindly read Ayop.
A set of numerical data has one and only one mean.
Very good. So kung pangayuan ka og mean, what is the mean of the set of data? Dili pwede maghatag ka og daghang answer. Isa ra jud na kabuok. So you have to give only one answer when you talk about mean. That is why ang gina-prefer jud sa research sa statistics is mean. Kay naman ko'y other value sa central tendency nga more than one ang iyang ginahatag nga answer. Ang mean kay isa ra jud. So how are you going to describe the height of the 40 students in the class? So there should only be one answer kung maghatag ka og mean. Number 3, let's have Nemile.
Mean is the most reliable measure
Reliable, that's reliable.
reliable measure of central tendency since it takes into account every item in the set of data.
Okay, so later we will learn kasi pasabot aning number 3 na it takes into account every item in the data set kay mag-compute man ta og mean. So pasabot ana is tanan value nga gihatag is na siya pakialam para sa iyahang overall answer kay bawat data, bawat entry dito, apilon man siya sa pag-calculate. That is one of the properties of mean. Kay later na aman to mahibalaan ninyo sa median ba or sa mode. Ang uban kay na gina-appeal sa pag-identify sa overall answer. Whereas sa mean, silang tanan naadud siya contribution sa answer. How about number 4? Number 4, Havana. Havana. Okay. Kung wala si Havana, then we'll have De Vera. Go ahead para di
Sir,
ka magdugay.
it is greatly affected by extreme or deviant by values.
Values or outliers. Kasi pasabot
Okay.
aning extreme, thank you so much. Kasi pasabot sa extreme or deviant values, maapektuhan daw ang mean kung na ay extreme or deviant values, also known as outlier. Ang pasabot ani, example, katry na mo, di ba, na mo mga quizzes. Dagko kag quizzes and then here comes a quiz nga 0 imong score. Di ba maka-apekto to sa imong mean? Makabira siya pababa, tama ba? Kung i-compute ang mean.
Yes, sir.
That is the meaning of greatly affected siya. Bisag tag-as kay mong score pero nagbaba ka kaisa or kaduha, dako na po na siya nga bira sa imuhang overall score when you talk about the mean. Or kung gagmay kay kag score pero pagka final examination taas kay mong score, so pwede po siya maka-apekto nga mabira imong score pataas. So that is one of the characteristics of the mean. Number 5, kindly read. Si Kosal na nabili na Grace. Kosal again.
It is used only if the data are quantitative.
Very good. So katong ganina, nga question nga, how about kung ako ang mga data kay kuan, katong style sa food, how to cook, sa restaurant, gihapon to siya nga unit of interest. Makakuha ba kong mean? The answer is no. It's because it's qualitative. Quanti lang man ang gina-compute sa mean. Wa may average nga description or words. So unless imo ang i-convert into numbers, ang kato different styles of menu sa restaurant, then it can have a mean. So naklaro ninyo ang mga properties sa mean? Let's have the examples and also the formula. For the ungrouped data, muna yung pasabot sa ungrouped data, just like the example number 1. Gihatag tagsa-tagsa ka number. Wala siya gigroup. So that is x bar, the formula, the mean, is equal to ng letter nga kanang murag E, that is actually a Greek letter, sigma, which means summation. Kabalo naman siguro ta ana, no? Summation of x divided by n, where katong x bar is your mean. Summation, it means kakwaon nimo ang sum. So unsay operation na involve ana i-add ang tanan nga values sa imong data. Then ang sum ato i-divide na pud nimo sa n, which is kung pila sa kabuok data or number of measurements. So for the first example, we have Miss Sulit collects the data on the ages of mathematics teachers in Santa Rosa School. And her study yields the following data. So na 38 years old, na 35, na 28, na 36, na 35, na 33, na 40. So nagsampling lang siya, naalang siya gikuha nga 7 kabuok ages out of pila ka teachers dito. So to solve for the mean, yang i-add tanan ang mga numbers katong 38, 35 until 40, that's the summation of x divided by the number of measurements. 7 man kabuok ang yang gi-include nga data, so divided by 7. That is why the answer is 35. Please verify if you have your calculator. I-calculate daw kung tama ba ang answer. Okay, basig mali ang answer ba? Tapos na tayo mga questions later.
Tama, sir. Tama.
Tama,
Thank you
tama.
so much
Tama,
for-
sir.
Thank you for verifying. It's 35. So based on the computed mean, mo ni siya ang interpretation, 35 is the average age of mathematics teachers in the Santa Rosa School. So kung naay mangutana, mag-survey nga, usually pilay edad sa mga teachers ninyo dere sa Santa Rosa School. So ang iyang ihatag nga answer is more or less 35 years old sila. So naghatag siya og central tendency. It's because nakuha niya ang mean. Sabta ninyo?
Yes, sir.
So instead
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Instead of giving all the numbers na 38, na 35, na 28, naghatag lang siya isa ka number. 35 years old ang average age sa among teachers dire. So that is the use of the mean. Now it's your turn. Kindly compute this. Mang John is a meat vendor. The following are his sales for the past 6 days. If he started on Tuesday, nasa 5,800. On Wednesday, 8,600. Thursday, 6,500. Friday, 4,300. On Saturday, 12,500. And on Sunday, 13,400. Compute his daily mean sales. Pila ang iyang average sale for 6 days? You may also send your answers ato ang chat box. And the same with the problem solving atong lesson nato. The first one to give the correct answer will earn additional points. Mas okay kung na may calculator para pas-pas. Emmanuel Mige or Maggie, basta si Emmanuel. According to him, it's 8,516.10 daw ang answer. While Miss Ayop said, no, it's 5,033 only. Another answer from Jesse, it's 7,300. Tapos Noriela has 8,517. Okay, there are 4 students already nga nag-answer. Let's check kung tama ba yung mga answer. The solution, again, you have to get the summation of all the numbers 5,800, 8,600, 65, and so on, up to 13,400. Ang sum ato niya, i-divide nato kung pila sila kabuok. So there are 6 numbers or 6 amount na gihatag. So divided by 6. That is actually 8,516.67. Ang pinaka-closest ani is 8,500. Sige, we will just accept ang pinakauna nga answer, 8,516, na mali lang niya pag round off. Pero when you talk about money, please don't forget ha, especially ang after ani mag-discuss sabi ata og mga kwarta kay mathematics of finance naman ang after ani sa statistics. When you talk about money, dapat kung naa siya decimal, up to 2 decimal places dapat kay centavos man ang pinakagamay nga unit sa kwarta. So dapat 2 decimal places. Unless gibutang dili sa instruction nga you have to round off. Pero actually nag-round off ka, up to centavos ka mag-round off. Kaya ba taas man ka? I think taas kayo na siya, murag 6, murag hadlok siya nga number mga puro 6 gani. Pero i-cut off na siya, i-cut off nimo siya up to decimal places, nearest hundreds ka. Kay centavo man. So ang sunod sa 6 kay 6 man, so it's 7 na, di ba? So the exact answer is 8,516 pesos and 67 centavos. So let's accept the answer of Mege or Mege. O sama dyan. Mege ni siya, Emmanuel, no? Emmanuel, are you here, Emmanuel? Kaya kung wala si Emmanuel, okay, salamat kay ma-award ang score sa next nga pinakaduol nga answer si Noriela. Mege. Tama ba pagka-pronounce imong apelyido?
Yes, sir. Tama, sir.
Very good. Let's have the next one. So clear na ang mean. You have a lot of examples sa mean sa inyong high school. But how about weighted mean? Nana siya weight, nana siya kanang kabug-aton. So what is weighted mean? Kindly read, Noriela.
Sir?
Kindly read what weighted mean is.
Wait lang, sir. Okay, choppy. Wait lang.
Okay lang, magtawag na lang tagdaki.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay na, sir. Weighted mean is the mean of a set of values wherein each value of measurements has a different weight or degree of importance. That's it.
Can you read the formula? Can you try?
Wala, unta ganin ng...
Okay, mag-lisod, no?
Sorry, sir.
It's okay. I will just read the weighted mean. The weighted mean is X bar, that's the mean, is equal to summation. Basta nagan mo yung E or sigma nga letter, that's summation. Summation of what? Tanawa, ang X o W gitapad. Basta itapad na siya based on our previous lesson sa language of mathematics, its product, multiply nimo ang x ug w. Ang kaning x mo ang measurement katong data nimo. Since weighted mean siya, na ay weight ng ihatag. So katong iyang measurement na siya corresponding weight, i-multiply to nimo. Tapos tanan sila ang result i-add nimo. That is why it's summation of x times w. I-divide mo ang answer sa summation of W kung pila ang total weights. So please don't forget the formula. Okay mo. Adto na to sa next slide. Again, the summation of x times W, where x is the measurement times W is the weight, divided by the summation of the weights. I hope that's clear. Kani, example. Weighted mean ang gipangayo ani. As you can see, na ay subject, tapos na ay units, o na ay grade. Pareha sa inyo karon college, di ba na may mga units? Di ba na may subject nga tag 3 units?
Yes, sir.
Napon may subject nga 5 or 6 units? Katong one sem nga subject, pila to siya nga ka-units? Katong ROTC man yata, one sem ba na siya? Or DEFTA? One sem ba na siya nga subject?
3 units ang siguro na, sir.
5, mga 5, no? Dili siya 3 units. Kaya usually, ang 3 units, kaya kuan lang man na siya. One term. So, na mga units. Actually, ang kaning mga units, muna siya ang magsulti sa inyo, ha? Kung unsa ang kabug-aton sa subject. Or in other words, kung unsa sa ka-importante sa inyo, ha? As kung unsa inyong gikuha nga course. For example, in kuan ka criminology, so katong mga dagko og units mo to ang mga importante kaayo nga subject para sa imuha. So for this example kay amaya nga subject, naa mga subject nga naay 0.9 lang ang units like Filipino and Social Studies. Napod siya 1.5 English Math, napoy mas gamay-gamay ato 1.2 TLE and MAPE, and ang pinakataas na unit diri is 1.8 ang Science. Na siya grade. So the instruction is to compute her grade point average. So ang pasabot ani, included na di ang weight. Dili lang kaya ang atong average sa grade niya ha, kundi ang weighted average na ang kuhaon ani. So how are you going to compute that? Based sa atong gihatag nga formula, di ba ang bawat x, ang x diri nga value kaning grade, ang w diri ang weight kaning units. So ang 86 nga Filipino will be multiplied by 0.9 kay 0.9 man ang weight sa Filipino. Ang 85 nga English, mo pong i-multiply sa 1.5 units kay 1.5 man ang units sa English, ang weight sa English, and so on and so forth. So imong i-multiply lang to ang corresponding unit sa grade. Tapos i-add na nimo tanan for the solution na 86 times 0.9 plus 85 times 1.5 plus 88 times 1.5 plus 87 times 1.8 plus 86 times 0.9 plus 83 times 1.2 plus 87 times 1.2. I-calculate ni mo tanan, then ang result will be divided by the total summation of W to ang denominator. I-add ni mo tanan ni units. So pila man ang sum sa 0.9 plus 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.8 plus 0.9 plus 1.2 plus 1.2. That will give you the result. So please try to calculate, tanaw na to kung pareho ba tag-answer, it's 86.1. Pareho ba? Amaya's general average or grade point average is 86.1. Si Kosal ba to aning tubag? Si Kosal ay nakakuha?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wait lang, sir.
Please try i-calculate ninyo weighted mean ang tawag ana.
Sir,
Kung
excuse
you
me, sir.
consider the units already or the weight. Yes, what is your question?
Kuan, sir, kanang ibutang jud sa babaw, sir, kanang 86 point, kanang close open parenthesis, 0.9, sir. Isa dyan sila dira, sir, kanang Filipino.
Oh, sila man ang magkauban. Kay ang 86 na grado, ang iyahang degree of importance kay 0.9 lang sa overall grade ni Amaya. So, di ka pwede nga mag-86 tapos lahi imong i-multiply. So dapat sa 0.9 lang jud siya. Then ang 85 sa 1.5 lang jud siya.
Okay, sir.
Pwede mo diretso na lang og enter sa imong calculator ha. Pwede na kadili magsulat og kaning taas. Anyway, the solution will not be required from you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please verify. 86.1 ang result. Nakuha ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So, are you sure wala yung mga nangutana diri nga 86.1? Kisa nagkalisod? Wala. So, silence means wala, Joy. So, let's continue. How about this? It's your turn to answer this. James obtained the following grades in his 5 subjects for the second grading period. So every grade or every subject has corresponding units. Compute his grade point average. For math, 90, that's 1.5 units. English, 86, 1.5 units. Science is 88, 1.8 ang units for science. Filipino, 87, with 0.9 unit, and Makabayan 87 with 1.5 units. Again, what is the grade point average of James? The first one to get the correct answer will receive additional points. Bolonos 86 yung answer. Ganina pa ni? Ganina ni siyang example. How about for this one? For this new exercise. Benemili's answer is 87.6. Let's check later. So kung naa siya decimal point, wala man gisulti diri no kung i-round off kung 1 decimal point, 2 decimal point ba siya, or places. So i-kuan na ninyo i-1 or 2 na lang kung taas kaayo siya. I'm waiting for other answers. Aside from 87.6, what else do we have?
Yeah, sir, mag-solve ko.
Pag-solve, I will give you time. Kaya dili man pwede nga magsigira kog flash sa answer. Dapat kabalo mo compute. So I will wait for your answers. Kaya kailangan ma-perform man jud ninyo. We also have the same answer, 87.6 according to Havana, while Alano, idungagan niya og another 0.6 o 0.66 na ang iyang decimal. While for Besas is 89.1, 88 for Ayop, 87.6 and 87.60 are the same. That's the answer of Clark, and so on. So I think that would be enough. Let's see kung kinsa nakakuha tama ang answer sa ilaha. So if this is the problem, weighted mean again ang kuhaon ani considering na ay different weights ang subject. So you will have to multiply 90 and 1.5. Then i-add to nimo sa 86 times 1.5. I-add to nimo sa 88 times 1.8. Then 87 times 0.9. And finally 87 times 1.5. Ang denominator nimo karon is ang sum again of the weights. So we have 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.8 plus 0.9 plus 1.5. So the correct answer is 87.67. Wala lang na round off ni binimili, no? Sa 6 lang siya nag-round off. Ang kay asipod kay dapat mag-round up naman kaana kay mga 6 naman yata ang sunod ana. So I will give the points to the first student who gave the answer, Benemile. Benemile, are you here? Kung wala si Benemile, then the point will be awarded to the next student na naghatap ng answer. Oh, very good. How did you get your answer? Paspas imo ang pag-answer.
Ikaw ra ko sir, giad na ko ang 90, 86, 88, 87, 87 then gi-divide na ko sa 5.
So mali imong solusyon. Dapat imuhang i-multiply ang units. Di ba dapat i-multiply ang units considering nga naman siya units. And this is not simple mean. This is actually weighted mean. Pero, fortunately, very close imong answer. Ikaw po na pinakaon na naghatag og answer. So, nakuha po nimo ang pinakaduol nga answer ha, pero this is not the exact answer. 67 jud ang iyahang decimal, 67. Okay, so ang pinaka how about si Alano? Si Alano, mura nag-ano ni siya, nag-weighted mean jud ni siya. So the average grade of James is 87.67. That is the correct answer. So after the mean, wala na question sa mean or kisa pa ang naay mga pangutana about mean. It's very common namang good ang mean. So I think wala na. Median is another measurement, and when we talk about median, it is the middle value of the sample when the data are ranked in order according to size. So makita ninyo ang mean kay ang bawat isa kailangan nimo i-compute, di ba? Ang median on the other hand is lahi riya. I-rank nimo, i-arrange. Tapos pag human nimo arrange, tan-aw nimo ang pinakatunga. Mo to siya ang answer. So di ba this is much easier as compared to mean, especially kung ang data nga ihatag kay i-arrange na daan. So ang hassle lang diri nga part sa median is the arrangement. Kay before you can locate the middle value, you have to arrange first. It's either pataas siya in ascending order or pwede pud pababa descending order. Anyway, ang pinakatunga the same lang man gihapon. So what happens if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Ang number of observation nato or ang data nato is odd number. So naatay pinakatunga. That is in this case, we have 19 as the median. Pero kung ang number of observation nato or data is even number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Kadorna, do you want to say something? What happens if the number of observation is even number? So tan-aw nimo ang pinakatunga, duha man gud ang naa sa tunga. Kadorna, what will you do?
Kuan sir, i-add nimo ang duha ka number sa tunga sir tapos divide by divide by 2. Tapos mao na siya ang median sir.
Very good. So this is just the same with getting the mean. Katong duha nga nagtay sa pinakatunga, sila ang magkuha sa average. So in this case, we have 16 to 23 and then ang pinakatunga we have 19 and 20. So you have to get the middlemost value. Kuhaon nimo ang average sa 19 ug 20, we have 19 plus 20 divided by 2. So the answer will become 19.5. Okay. So kung nakita nato ni ang iyahang difference karon di ba sa mean. So karon ato ang i-discuss unsa ang mga properties or characteristics sa median. Number 1, maslay. Basaha.
Median is the score or class in the distribution wherein 50% of the score fall below it and another 50% lie.
Lie. So balik ta sa previous slide ha. Kay ang kaning pinakatunga daw naa siya sa, di ba ang 50% kay naa diri sa iyang left side, ang another 50% naa pa sa iyang right side. So ang above ug ang below naa sa iyahang left ug right. So that is the meaning of the first property. 50% siya naa sa tunga-tunga. That is the median. Number 2, kindly read. Kadorna. Kadorna?
Yes sir. Number 2, median is not affected by extreme or deviant values.
Thank you. So ganina, katong sa mean, di ba affected man ang mean sa deviant values? Kung naay 0, mabira jud imong score pababa. Pero diri sa median, dili siya maka-apekto. Ngano man, kasi maka-explain sa number 2, nganong dili maka-apekto ang mga gagmay kaayo nga values o mga dagko kaayo nga values. It's because, kung baliko nato ni siya, ang mga gagmay nga mga values usually makita na sa pinakatumoy. Ang pinakatag-as nga value makita po sa pinakatumoy. Di ba, di man ka magtanaw sa tumoy. Imong tanawon is ang tunga. So that is why, kung for example, magtanaw ka sa imong score, hala, na kay mga 0 nga score, pero kaisa lang ka na 0, pero napo kay mga dagko nga score. So kung median ang atong basihan para makuha ang imuhang average, kung median ang gamiton, dili ka mag-worry kay ang zero di maka-apekto. Kaya ang tunga-tunga nga score ang tanawon. Pero kung mean ang kuhaon, maka-apekto ang zero. Tama ba? Kaya apilon man siya og calculate.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
the meaning of number 2. Median is not affected when we talk about extreme values sa median. Number 3, kindly read Likonan.
Median is appropriate to use when there are extreme or deviant values.
Very good. So kung naa kay mga values nga dagko kaayo, gagmay kaayo, so ang appropriate nga gamiton para dito makaapekto sa imong data is median. Kaya number 2, makaapekto man gud ang mga extreme values. So para di maapektuhan imong result, so it's better nga median ang gamiton kung naa kay mga values nga gamay kaayo ug dagko kaayo. Number 4, let's have Tankawan.
Median is used when the data are ordinal.
Very good. Ordinal means, katong ato ang lesson before, na siya order, di ba? So we have to arrange. So kung naka-arrange ang imong data, then you can identify kung unsa ang pinakatunga. And number 5, which is also very interesting, Besas.
Median exists in both quantitative or qualitative data.
Very good. Ang mean kay quanti naman siya, di ba? Ang gina-compute niya, mga numbers lang. Ang median kay pwede daw siya sa qualitative. As long as, i-connect na to sa number 4, as long as na-arrange siya. So kung na-arrange nimo ang imong data, katong mga ordinal data is katong very satisfied, satisfied, and very not satisfied.
Dali rin magligo.
I-mute sa ato sa
Kung ano yung
i-arrange
example
to
ba?
nimo, then you can get the middlemost value, even though it's quality or its description. So as long as ma-arrange nimo siya, whether number siya or dili siya number, description siya, na siya tunga-tunga, then you can compute for the median. So nasabtan ba ang mga properties or characteristics sa median? Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
continue the
Yes,
computation.
sir.
Get your pen and paper now. Let's compute for the median for number 1. The numbers are 15, 14, 12, 19, 13, 14, 15, 18, 13, and 19. This is about the survey of small businesses in Tondo. 10 bakeries report the following number of employees. So pila ang number of employees more or less sa mga bakery kung mo ni ang data gihatag. So again, you cannot naghatag og answer, no? Again, you cannot give an answer directly kung wala na arrange. Ay arrange siya ninyo na. So the first one to give the answer is Emmanuel, followed by Samson. The answer will be revealed right now na ba? 14.5. No one got the correct answer. So kindly arrange again all the data from the smallest to the largest, or pwede po the largest to the smallest. So kung smallest ka, di ba 12 ang mauna? Then followed by pila ka 13.
Duha, sir.
Duha ka 13. Then followed by pila ka 14.
Duha po, sir.
Duha. Then pila ka 15.
Duha.
Then kung sa'yo next sa 15, wala may 16, wala 17, 18. Ay, isa ka 18 and then ay duha ka 19. Yeah. Di ba ang tunga kay 14 ug 15?
Yes, sir.
So 14 plus 15 divided by 2 is 14.5.
14.5.
So in other words, more or less 14 or 15 ang kasagaran, kadaghanon sa mga empleyado sa mga bakery in Tondo. Let's proceed to number 2. So no one got the correct answer for number 1. The random savings of second-year high school students, we have 340, 350, mga gagmay, no? 450, 500, 360, 760, 800, 740. Second-year high school students, di siya nga mga current balances. What is the median? So we have 570, we have 475, 2 students gave their answers. How about the others? 430. Sa pa mag-add. Supported also by another one, 430 and 450. Okay. So I think that would be enough. Daghan-daghan na naghatag og answer. The first one again to get the correct answer. And the correct answer is 475. Wala. Oh,
Oh,
very
sir.
good. Maslay got the correct answer. Mr. Maslay,
Sir.
can you please tell me the arrangement? I-arrange man yun nimo, di ba? Para makuha yung mga answer. You have additional points.
Yes, sir.
Please tell us the arrangement.
Kon sir, 340 plus 350 plus 360. Ay,
Ayaw,
kanang
plus
340 sunod
340.
kay 350, then 360, 450, 500, 740, 760, and 800.
Very good. Congratulations, you earned additional points. Ang pinakatunga is duha ang pinakatunga, no?
Yes, sir.
Ano sa pinakatunga?
One, sir, 475. Kay 450 plus 500 divide 2.
Very good. So that's clear. How about the third one? It's all about the light bulbs and the lifetime nila. For example, light bulb. Daghan na nag-answer. Wala pa gani, no? So, paspas ang uban. Gusto nila makascore. So, ang lifetime daw sa bulb A is 1.1. That is 1.1 thousands of hours na siya. So, it means 1,100 hours ang iyahang kinabuhi sa light bulb. Ay na po 1.2 na 1.4 na 0.9 lang na 0.2 dali ra kani siya mapunder na 1.2 na 1.7. So most of the answers so far upat ka buok puros 1.1. And that is correct. Ang pinakauna nag-answer is si April Elorde. Elorde, what
Yes,
is the
sir.
arrangement? What is the arrangement?
Arrangement, sir, is 1.2, 0.9, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.7.
Very
Ang
good.
tunga ay tunga 1.1 plus 1.1 equals 2.2 divide to 1.1.
Are you sure? Duha ang tunga?
1.1
tunga.
Duha ka boxer.
Duha ang tunga, 9 man ni ka buok.
Duha
Sir,
isang
wala 1.4 ya, sir. Ako, sir.
Isa ra ang tunga ani.
Isa ra day, sir. Isa ra day, sir.
Tara.
Isa ra, sir.
Again,
Wala na, sir. Duha na daw,
add
sir.
number imong data. Anyway, your answer is correct.
Wala 1.4 ya, sir.
Nasulti niya ganina. Let's proceed to mode. The third and the last one is the mode. The mode, kindly read isa ning saba dere. Dupla. What is mode? Then we will
Mode.
find the mode.
Mode is the value which occurs most frequently in a set of measurements or values. In other words, it is the most popular value in a given set.
Very good. So, mode or MO, yung shortcut, kung bisayaon nato dari nagbalik-balik kaning permanently frequently siya nga makitaan nga measurement. So kung tapulan kaayo ka sa tulo sa mean, median and mode, ang mode imuhang pilion kay ngano man makita man din mo balik-balik mo to imong ihatag nga score. So di na ka mag-calculate. Unlike sa mean nga imong i-calculate isa-isa, ang sa median kailangan pa imong i-arrange, identify ang tunga. Ang sa mode kay ocular inspection lang siya, tan-awon lang nimo sa imong mata, then katong mga nagbalik-balik, pinakadaghan nagbalik mo to imong answer. That is the most popular value. That's why ang mode is least ni siya nga gina-prefer. So nagbalik-balik daw nga value, let's try. Number 1, the ages of the students are kani. So what is the mode?
Vis.
Number 1 pata. Do we have a mode? 17, 18, 23, 20, 19. Is there a mode? Nabay nagbalik-balik? Wala. Okay. So this
Wala,
means
sir.
that there is a case. Diba sa ang mean kay kailangan na isa ka answer. There is only one answer. Ang sa mode man good kay is possible nga wala answer. Nga naman wala may nagbalik-balik. So silang tanan equal. So wala kay mahatag nga value. How about the second one? 5 evaluation of teacher na VS, SVS, VSO. What is the mode?
BS, sir.
It's because ikatulo siya nagbalik. How about number 3? The grades of 5 students are 4.0, 3.5, 4.0,
Doka box, sir.
3.0. There are two answers, 4.0, 3.5. So as you can see, pwede siya walay answer, just like number 1. Pwede walay mode. Pwede put more than 1. So unlike sa mean and the median, nga naa siya isa lang ka-answer. Ang mode is pwede siya wala, pwede po daghan, pwede more than 1. How about number 4? The weights of 5 boys in pounds.
17.
117. Di ba pas kaayo, no? We are not using calculators. We're just using our eyes to identify the mode. So what are the properties of the mode? Number 1, it is used when you want to find the value which occurs most often. So kung gusto na ka makabalo, unsa ang pinaka-balik-balik na number? Then that is the answer. Ang mode ay muhang pangita. For example, nag-quiz ta. Naatay tulo ka quiz. So ang imuhang first nga score kay 100. Second score kay 0. Ang third score kay 0. Tapos mangayo imong teacher og what is your mode kay moto kong i-record? What will be your answer?
0.
Would it be fair to you nga na kay 100 isa tapos na kay 2 ka 0? Yeah, mode man ang kuha nga central tendency, so 0 imong score. Fair ba na para sa imuha?
Dili, sir.
Dili, no? That is why dili naman kay 100 isa. So imuhang grado 0.
Zero, sir, dili, sir.
Pero in reality, ang imuhang effort na 100 ka sa isa will not be counted. So dili siya fair. So that is why mode is the most unreliable. So ang dapat ato para makredit tanan, you have to use the mean. Number 2, it is just a quick approximation of the average. So nagpinaspasan imuhang gusto, so tanaw lang nimo ang nabalik-balik, mode na siya. It is just an inspection average. Or not using calculators here. That is why it is the most unreliable among the 3 measures of central tendency because its value is undefined in some observations. So, itong example ako ganina nga 100 ka, tapos kaduha ka na 0. So, ang imuhang effort na 100 ka will not be counted kay mas daghan man imong 0. So, 0 will be the final score. So, it is really unreliable. Now, number 5, though it exists in quantitative data, it is most applicable in qualitative data. Kay kaning mode manggod, ang pinaka una nga gamit niya if you are going to research for the history of the mode is usually sa fashion ni siya. Kana ganing unsay uso? Unsa ang uso karon? Hala daghan kayong mga nag-shorts nga mga babae nga mga pinapuok na short. So mao to ang ilahang sundon kay mao ang mode. So kung ikaw na maligya po kag mga ukay-ukay, mao po to imuhang pangumprahon. Dito nagsugod ang mode. Kung unsa ang patok, mao to ang ilaha pong i-define para sa tanan. Hala, uso karon ang kuan, uso karon ang magsige absent, hala nagsige pang absent ang mga estudyante. Ngano man daghan mag-absent. So which is not good. So that is the property of mode. Nasabtan ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so I think kabalo naman ta sa mode. Can you give the answer now for number 1?
3.
Only 3?
3, 7, 8.
There are 3. 3, 7, 8.
378.
How about number 2? Number
80,
2.
90, 82.
82.
Okay, there are also 3, 80, 90. No. Nay isa lang nga nag-stand out. Pinakadaghan siya nagbalik.
82.
82. Because 82 appeared 3 times. So, mas daghan man siya sa 80. Kaduha lang man ng 80, 90, kaduha lang. So, siya ang pinakadaghan nagbalik. So, the answer is 82. Number 3.
12, 15.
12, 15.
Kapila nagbalik ang 12 o 15? Twice. So, silang duha.
Kaduha.
Okay. So, that's the end of our lesson for measures of central tendency.
Dali
We
ra
will
may na.
still have, di ba sa'yo na kaayo kay review lang magudin siya. We will still have one last lesson that will be on Monday, and that is all about the measures of variability. That will be included in your examination. So mahumanta, mubo ra pud kaayo ang measures of variability. So Monday mahumanta, we will have the examination on Wednesday. Do you have questions?